Should we pull a card about our next
Do
year?
it. Yes.
Okay.
So wait, what's the question? You're gonna pull from your deck. Amazing. What's the question we're asking the deck? Like, what's the vibe
Well,
for our next year?
I was just thinking like what should we know about
Love.
our second our second run around the sun together?
Our solar return, our friendship solar return.
Exactly. Oh, there we go. Okay.
The tower.
How we began. Um, okay,
Literally.
ready?
I'm ready.
We've got the Fool.
Ooh, okay.
Okay. Let me find it in my little book here because I don't have these things memorized yet. Give me one sec. Okay. Okay. Rules help us create structure in our lives, but when followed without question, can become like ice houses that trap and freeze us. Inside them for too long, we can get numb to the con- contingencies of life that require us to adapt and be flexible. You might be in an ice house if you hear yourself say, "This is how it's done. This is how it's always been done," and never mind the fact that it's hurtful, life limiting, or simply doesn't work anymore. Hang on. Myths and old stories reveal a link between the fool, a misfit, a rule breaker, and wisdom and holiness. The fool, like the mythological green man of springtime, is the one with the courage to break through the frozen ground of winter when the time comes for flowers to challenge the rules of the day in service of new life.
Ooh.
What comes up for you when you hear that about us?
Hmm. I mean, it is an interesting that's an interesting reflection on like not not doing things a certain way just because that's how it's always done or for the sake of like familiarity or you know that a certain thing is like what you're supposed to do. I do feel you and I are both like unconventional souls a bit. Um and we also have I think an unconventional approach to friendship
Hmm.
that I think is reflected in that. I also think it very much evokes for me the concept of beginner's mind of like approaching everything, even things that you're not a beginner, but approaching everything with the
Hmm.
mind and the openness
Hmm.
and the curiosity of a beginner,
Yeah,
which I do think is also matches our approach to a lot of things separately and together in just
right.
like being curious, wanting to learn things,
Totally.
exploring things that are interesting, not feeling like and for us, if there's an active like working against
Mm,
the automatic pressure to like do things a certain way or perform things at a certain level or whatever. Like both of us, I think, have that impulse and then have to like consciously walk ourselves back from like, I don't want to put pressure on myself to fill in the blank.
exactly.
So
Exactly.
that's what that's what I think of. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with all of that. I think for me, thinking about our friendship, oh, the kids are out for recess, so
Oh, cute.
you might hear some shrieking because literally, like one the first child that ran out was just like I was like,
It's
I
fun
love it,
shrieking everybody. No, but it's not it's not
I love it.
terror.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I think the thing that comes to my mind, especially with that, like coming out of winter into spring kind of imagery, is that you and I did meet in the spring.
We sure did.
And there is something like life affirming newness, vibrancy, or something like that energy in that. And I think um like thinking about like even the podcast, we were recording pretty steadily. And then life for both of us in different ways. at different intensities, shifted in like late winter. And
Yep.
now we are, and the truth is, like, we both recorded voice notes to each other recently, citing all the things that are coming up over the next month and a half,
Yep.
every fucking weekend of our lives.
Relentless. Relentless.
And summertime is going to be like that. Like, that's how it's.
Yep.
And so, like, not that we had set a rule like we record every week, but we had a cadence and we had to just pivot and adjust to, like, we might not get an episode out every week. And so,
Yep.
19, I want you to be prepared because as we go into summer, there just not might not be one every week. And I was actually thinking about this recently. I was like, maybe something to think about with the pod is what if we did like what if we had like an embracing of the seasons in our pod? Because like
Ooh.
in the winter we need more support and we also have more time to hunker down and we need indoor activities to stimulate and all of that. I listen to more podcasts in the winter than I do in the summer. I
Yep.
literally am seeking support in dark time, like literal dark
Yeah.
times. And like, but maybe bi-weekly through the or every other week throughout the like brighter months
Yeah.
makes more sense, right? And
Yeah.
maybe that like meets us where we are, but also I'm gonna guess the 19 are pretty similar. And the fact that, hey, 19, let us know in the comments.
Sound off in the
Are
comments, guys.
are you getting busy too?
What do you have coming up this summer? What's your schedule like?
Um, and and even like our visits got interrupted, and I know for a while we were very like we will see each other every 2 months, god damn it, and like that was we were being pretty like rule oriented on that, and literally the universe said, oh, we're gonna have to figure out how to adjust.
Yep.
And and because what's his nuts was in retrograde or whatever the fuck,
Yep.
and it's like, oh no, we're gonna learn different ways to
Yeah.
maintain this friendship.
Yep.
Um, and so, and I will say I'm still feeling resistant to that ideology because
Well,
it
sure.
does feel
Yeah.
like it's been too long, and I'm a little like stressy about that.
Yeah.
Um, but uh, yeah, I just that's one of the things when I think about like the way year one went, and again, just the fact that our friendiversary is in the spring and not just any part of spring, like right when spring is actually happening. Like we're finally getting more days in the 70s versus 30 in the week.
Yep.
Like the
Yep.
scale is shifting. Spring, like blossoms are finally happening, etc. That like what does uh that availability for new approaches look like in our friendship?
I love that. I love that. See, this is why it's good to like with tarot. If you're ever pulling a tarot card and you pull something like, I'm thinking of the Fool, I'm also thinking of the Devil. Don't be
Mm.
scared. Though, just because those cards, the names of the cards sound like maybe they're going to be something not so good, they actually sometimes are. Now, if you get the Tower, although we drew that one
We
early on,
did.
what was that for though? Was that
It
like
was for this. It was for this podcast. It was
it was
for
for the
our creative effort together. And we
like
sat at the collage place
yes, oh my
and
God, yes, yes, yes.
and in Bed-Stuy, and that was like the first fucking thing we pulled. And like and then a series of things after it that also were like things are gonna be challenging.
Yep. Yep. Oh my God. That's so wild. I
Which to be fair, that was right before I moved. I mean, that was like a month maybe before I moved.
well, I was wondering if it had been if it was that time or if it was the time that I think it was like the night before you moved that you were here and
Oh,
we pulled cards on the couch and it
we
was
did
like
do didn't we get it both times?
I'm sure we did. So even
I'm pretty
then,
sure
you
we did
guys,
because we cried and laughed. On the couch when you, I know you pulled it on the couch for sure because we both were just crying and laughing our asses off, staring at this card in between us.
We were like, what the fuck? Um, I have to tell you that while we've been talking about this, I can't believe I haven't done this before. But while of course there exist natal charts, like birth charts for
Sure.
people and when we're born, but also relationships have birth charts.
Oh my God.
Oh my God is right. So I have pulled up our friendship's birth chart based on when we met,
Yeah.
because I do have the time and date and
Yes,
location of
I do too.
that.
As do I. As do I.
And so I am going
Shout
to,
out Peaches.
oh my God. So we're going to talk about the big three of our friendship, if
Okay,
that's okay with
let's
you,
do
if
it.
you're open to that.
I'm
Um,
really not. Despite everything the fool just taught me, I'm
all
really
right.
not.
Let's just end this here. Anyway, more soon.
Anyway, not more soon.
Anyway, no
No,
more.
no more.
No more soon. Okay. So here we go. So first of all, our friendship has an Aries sun. Okay. So Sun in Aries. Um, if Aries is your sun sign, it doesn't guarantee you a life of ease and fame, but it does indicate you possess a reservoir of vitality, courage, and strength. You're a natural leader, and others look to you to light the way. That's you, the 19. You're the others looking to us to light the way. So that's the sun sign of our friendship. Now, our friendship has a Scorpio moon. Okay. So I don't know much about Scorpio moon. I know we both are Scorpio rising in our individual charts. Moon and Scorpio. This is all, by the way, chani.com. Shout out. If you're ever looking at like what a placement means, you can search that sign, placements, chani, and it will pull up a whole thing where they talk about what each placement means in a certain sign.
To be clear, Chani is our religion.
That's
So
right.
if you're looking for a conversation with your children about religion, just seek Chani. That's all. Go ahead.
Next time my kids are like, "Mommy, what do you believe?" I'm gonna pull it up and be like, doom, doom,
This
this
act.
week, the astrology of this week. Okay. Moon in Scorpio. In the intense and resilient sign of Scorpio, the moon is said to be in its fall. In other words, Luna's pursuit of comfort is at odds with Scorpio's fascinations with the extremes of life. That doesn't mean your emotional life will be difficult, but it does hint at your need to tap your deepest wells of feeling to transform your pain into a sense of purpose. Your moon has a primal pull toward transformative connections and possibly even possessive bonds. Learning to compost past desires and emotions is self-care for this placement. Well, and then
That doesn't
our
sound right.
that doesn't sound right at all. It doesn't resonate. And then our rising sign for our friendship is in Cancer. If your ascendant is in Cancer, the moon is your ruling planet, which means you'll want to be known for your ability to care for your cohorts, friends, and family members, initiating them into the realms of the heart. This rising sign is driven to remember the tender trivia about those they love. A Cancer ascendant rejoices in recalling how their dear ones take their tea, feel about their parents, or like to recharge their batteries. While others may interpret your style as simply compassionate, there is a strong streak of tenaciousness at play here as well. This is a placement that knows how to grip memories, histories, and or resentments tightly in its claws. Taking time to nurture yourself too will keep you sparkly, vibrant, and able to show up for those around you resentment free. Wow.
That one is so fun. Like, first of all, this is like very uncanny, the whole thing.
Yeah, right?
Um, but that one in particular, because I feel like you and I both, how many times have we been like, you just remember everything. How do you remember it? I feel worried that I don't remember enough about what you said. And then we literally both say this to each other
Yep.
all the time.
All the time.
All the
Yeah.
time.
Oh, and usually for you it's, oh, I should have remembered that. I'm sorry. And usually for me it's, God, I really hope you don't take it personally that I forget everything. I know you don't, but like, I really hope you don't, because it's not that I don't care about you and it's not that I don't listen to the things you say. It's that my brain just can't hold all the information. But of course, we've talked about Lena Dunham. Of course, we've
It's
talked about how,
literally, but like, and literally, we are both like exceptional at remembering.
yeah.
It's
Oh,
the fact that we voice note like 4 hours of content a day that
yeah. Yeah.
that makes it challenging to hold every inch. But I'm like truly thinking about, I don't know about you, but I also, that's something that like in life, the way I behave toward the people that I love, frequently people are like, it's amazing that you're doing that. It's amazing that you're doing this. It's amazing that you're doing that. Da, da, da. And I'm like, I hear you. I really don't look at it. Like, it doesn't feel amazing to me. Like, it doesn't feel exceptional. Maybe not amazing is the wrong word, but like, you're acting like this is exceptional. From my perspective, this is how you care for people that you love, period. Like, there isn't another way to do this in my mind.
Yep.
And and that doesn't mean that I'm not being intentional. It's just that like, yeah, I don't, and I will say this has been like, it's been a point of contention in relationships in the past, and I think it's one of the reasons you and I clicked so quickly is that we meet each other at that level. And
Yeah.
I don't have to feel like I'm doing too much. Let me, because then it becomes a thing of like, you need to like meet them at their level. And that's not natural for me. I'm like, I
Yeah.
do the most. That's who I am. And I need someone who also does the most.
Yep.
And yeah,
And understands the doing the most. Like, yeah. Well,
like
this
we
is
know we're both doing this. Yeah.
exactly. Well, this is resonant too. We also have a stellium in Pisces, by the way.
Oh,
Um,
interesting.
which Pisces is all dreamy, i- deep inner
Gotcha.
world of emotion. And one of that is Venus, the planet of love and connection, is in Pisces. In Pisces, Venus is exalted, which means it's not only supported but utterly magnetic and radiant here. It will attract all manner of connections. That being said, people with relationship wounds will often make you their savior, object of affection, or obsession. It may be hard setting boundaries with others, but once you do, you can use your power of healing, compassion, and creative imagination toward untold ends.
Wow. What were we just talking about with boundaries?
Yikes.
Wowzers.
This is this is informative.
That was very informative. I love it.
Listen, well, I mean, obviously we'll study the birth chart more in depth. I'll send it to you, et
Yeah.
cetera, et cetera.
Thank you.
But
Obviously.
had to let the 19 in on that. So
Obviously.